السلام عليكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي أشدد به أزري واشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Welcome, dear friends. Inshallah, we will continue with our discussion on the ascension of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. So the author is sharing how we can benefit from his ascension, that we can also make a personal ascension, inshallah. So I think last time we kind of discussed this paragraph, visualizing the physical tree of this world, comparison, basically an analogy of the universe can be seen as a mighty tree of the universe. So there was a question that the author was, let me see if I can bring up that question. So there were a few questions that the author was, I think the conversation between the atheist that the author is kind of sharing that everybody may have the same kind of questions. Basically, the question was basically, how is the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, the seed of the universe? And I cannot find it for some reason. Oh yeah, here. How is he the seed of the universe? Yeah, so this was one of the questions that was being asked. And you say that the universe was created from his light. This is a pretty big claim that the universe was created from his light, and he was its farthest and most illumined fruit. So how do we really understand these questions, and we can have the same questions pretty much in terms of trying to that's what we're trying to do here in this discussion. How do we understand these? Like how the seed of the universe, and I think last time we kind of discussed this. Right. So anything that the author was sharing that something that has to be clothed, a garment of the fruit. So he said that definitely, I think from what I recall a little bit, let's say we are working on some project, right? So we will start planning something on that particular project, right? And then we kind of have that plan that we follow. So same thing in terms of how the universe is created. Whoever has the knowledge, the source of our existence, definitely knows exactly what he's gonna do, basically, right? All right, so we will continue basically in terms of the next paragraph and see anything that catches the attention. So on the book is page 606, if anybody is following. O listener, do not consider it improbable that this strange and mighty universe is created from the particular essence of a human being. So this is kind of very difficult to understand also. Even for me, sometimes I wonder how this universe can be from the essence of a human being, right? So why should the all-powerful one of glory, who creates a huge pine tree a sort of world. So this huge pine tree can be a sort of world from a seed. So a huge pine tree, which is, I mean, this is a huge thing, and it comes from a seed. So the beginning point is basically the seed, and then the seed splits, and then the shoot comes, and then it becomes a huge pine tree, basically. Right? So there's a start and beginning to the plan of how this huge tree would be. Right? Okay, so far so good. So a seed the size of a grain of wheat. Not create the universe from the light of Muhammad. So he's saying if this sort of pine tree, a huge pine tree, can be created from a sort of seed, so the whole universe, the mighty universe, cannot be created from the light of Muhammad. So the light of Muhammad, what does that mean basically? Does anybody understand what the light of Muhammad is? So I understand basically his message that he brings, right? So the meaningful side of what messengership is. So that is how I would say the messengership of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And I will let Fariha speak. Go ahead, Fariha.
Um, so what I understand from light of Muhammad is pretty much the source of my existence, light. Pretty much what you were saying about the message of my creator. Because, I was also trying to connect with what we talked about yesterday about the universe's doomsday, universe having its birth and then a death as well. And so whoever gave existence to the universe and is continuously giving existence to the universe must also bring it to an end. And so with that understanding, the light of Muhammad refers to, it points to the qualities of the source of my existence or an absolute being. And so going back to the question of the seed, how can the seed be linked to, wait, what was the question again? Can you go back?
So as an analogy, basically, how is
Yeah.
Muhammad the seed of the universe?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think it's humanity, the seed, the human being. Muhammad is referring to human qualities. That's what I have to say.
I wouldn't know if it's human qualities, but I would say the message basically that he brings, the revelation in a way. So whatever the source of our existence wants to communicate, right, it comes through him. So that's the light of Muhammad. So he becomes the means in a way. So basically the author is just bringing the attention in terms of how, okay, so isn't this something amazing, a seed, and then you see a whole huge pine tree, which is a whole huge world, right? In the realm that we, in this kind of life that we are experiencing. So whoever made the whole universe as the mighty world, basically. So this is a small world, the pine tree, and then the whole universe is emanating from the light of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Brother Ali, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
My disclaimer, I am driving,
Okay, inshallah, we can hear you.
inshallah. Yeah. Do you understand? Do you hear me? Do you hear the noise, background noise from the car?
It's okay. I can figure out what you're saying, basically. So it's good.
Yeah. No other option. for me. The second disclaimer is I cannot raise my hand, so I have to try. So I will just open or unmute myself and wait. Now,
Sounds good.
now this subject that we are, inshallah, trying to understand needs main point. Muhammadan light was created before the universe is created, speaking from my side, human side, before, after. That is how I understand human creation of the universe and my creation. So there is an equation here. First, of course, before making the building, we have to make the plan. According to the plan, I can make the building. Plan is in the form of knowledge. So far, so good. Plan is in the form of knowledge. So, universe is this plan, as far as the example of the universe, similar to the tree. So the seed of the tree must be created. Out of this seed, the body, material body of the tree will be created, and as a result of this material body of the tree, the fruit will be created at the end, and within this fruit, another seed is created. Now, what we should understand, as far as the universe is concerned, the source of the tree is the knowledge of the Creator, who must know for what purpose this universe, he will create this universe in order to fulfill what purpose. I will speak a bit longer so that we will read the following paragraph as far as I understand within this equation. The source of knowledge, I'm going to create a universe like this. We are speaking from human perspective. And this universe will be in the form of a tree, and the fruit of the tree will include the qualities of the beginner, of the seed at the beginning, expected. Now, whatever the knowledge is, the purpose of the universe is given, taught in the form of knowledge, which is revelation, which is the spirit, the meaning of messengership. So, Muhammadan spirit represents the spirit of the message. Muhammad's personality is the tree. By using this message, growing this tree of human life, and this human life will give a fruit, and this fruit will have a seed in it, and we will read soon, out of this seed, the Sejere Tuba, God forbid, Sejere Zakkum, paradise and hell will be created. According to the level of the capacity of my tree of life, so that my tree of life will give fruit, and this fruit, the result of my life, will include my seed. But we should never forget the knowledge was given, revelation was given to the Prophet Muhammad. He was the most appropriate condition, ready to receive this seed and grow a tree, perfect tree, as a response to the tree of the universe in the lifespan of a human being. But human beings, every human beings are given another capacity, which is called human spirit, ruh. Human spirit also has the same quality as the message quality. The prophet, what the information is given to the prophet, as the message of the universe as well, manifesting the qualities of its maker. And Muhammad's spirit and Muhammad's message is also given by the one who decided to create the universe in order to fulfill a certain mission, which is how this message, the original seed, will be represented within the lifespan of a human being, and he will make his miraj coming, miraj with ascension, ascending from the seed into a tree, and this tree, after 60, 70, 90 years of age of tree, it will grow, it is fruit, and in this fruit of life of a human being will be the seed of Shajar-i Tuba. Inshallah, I'm not going to mention Shajar-i Zakkum, hell. I don't want it. That is my spirit says, don't mention this. All right, inshallah, your spirit says the same thing. So, Shajar-i Tuba, according to the capacity of my seed, fruit of life. So, at the beginning, the spirit of Muhammad, which is the message, knowledge of the Creator, must exist before the universe. And also, result of the universe will grow into a fruit. This fruit, either Shajar-i Tuba, whole universe turned into a new creation, another tree of paradise or another tree of hell. Human beings will deserve a place according to the capacity of their fruit of life, including the seed of their next creation. So our miraj is, Muhammad's miraj was a miracle realized by the Prophet, by God, Allah. He made a journey in his life with Allah's will, according to Allah's will, and Allah enabled him to make this journey of the universe, the tree of the universe, very quick journey, Ascension, reach the ultimate purpose of which is fruit. And this will be represented in the Quran now. And for me, I will learn this rather than making a bodily journey. I will make my spiritual journey, educating my spirit, potentially equal to the message of the universe, message of the Prophet, and with the ability to acknowledge the qualities of the Creator. So equation has four elements. Human spirit first, qualities of the God manifested in the universe equal to qualities of God manifested in human being equal to qualities of the message of the Quran revelation, again introducing the universe, the creator of the universe perfectly, and qualities of the life of the Muhammad also being an example of this perfect tree in the form of a human being in his life. Four elements are making the equation equal to each other, equal to each other, equal to each other. My miraj, my ascension will be utilizing my spirit, learning the information from the Quran, and seeing the prophetic life, exemplary life, as an example for me, getting all of them, and realizing my physical life as the universe is realizing in its physical life the manifestation of its creator's quality, and realizing my human life in the physical form. Here I am bodily living in this world, and resulting in my own spirit quality, but potential qualities are now turned into capacities. How my life tree grew, practiced the manifestations of my spirit. Most of them are ignored in my life. So my fruit will have a seed. The DNA of my seed will be lacking lots of things, lots of quality. According to the capacity of my seed now at the end of my life, inshallah, Şecere-i Tuğba, representing the paradise, my paradise will be at this level. This is called my miraj. This equation, if we understand, well, I worked on it, if we understood this equation, we will understand our miraj, and we have to take it seriously. Inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Inshallah. Drive safely, Brother Ali, inshallah. Any questions by anyone or comments?
Can you sort of highlight some of your main takeaways from what was shared, please? I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Anybody would like to do that, or? Okay, so let me see what I understood from Brother Ali's understanding. So basically the plan, first of all, if you're building a wall, you have to have a plan, basically, right? And the plan is in the form of a seed. So the seed basically grows into a tree, and when it becomes a tree, that is basically the ascension of the individual when they get close to the reality of what their existence is, right? So in the case of Prophet Muhammad, basically God took him on this journey, right, physically, and in an instant he reached the ultimate purpose of his existence. But for me now, the spirit that I have, which is like a seed of its own sort, so I need to use my spirit in terms of making my personal ascension to grow it that spirit into also a tree of paradise or tree of Tuba. So that was in a nutshell. I hope Brotherly, were you listening to my summary?
Did you summarize the equation with 4 elements?
So all the elements, basically my human spirit, then the universe with this spirit as well, and then the prophet with the revelation, peace and blessing upon him, and then his practical life as well. So all those elements work together, telling me the same thing.
These elements they all exist at the beginning and at the same time at the end. In between, the tree is growing. Universe is continuously created. My life is continuously created. My life summarizes the life of the universe. But my ascension, which kind of tree I have grown and practiced by using my spirit, potential spirit, how much of it I could put into practice. So my tree may be a very fresh, alive tree or very small, now, not very mature fruit. It means I am not turning my potential under the guidance of the revelation and under the guidance of the universe manifesting. It is reality, it is potential, which means qualities of its creator are continuously enhancing themselves. How much I could benefit from it, like actually benefiting from the sun, benefiting from the fertilizer and the water, and growing as, how do you say, in a flourishing way, promising way, or very weak, and the fruits are so small, insignificant, not very fresh. Now, that is my mirage. That is my mirage. My life is my mirage.
So inshallah, a healthy tree. Yeah, so my life, my whole human journey, basically, using my awareness, my consciousness, my human spirit, in a way, in the right fashion, what is according to what the revelation is guiding me and what the prophetic message is guiding me to.
An interesting, thank you, bro, and Brother Ali, for sharing your insights. Excuse me, an interesting point was about how everything has been in existence before the universe has been brought into existence, as in the seed of my spirit has been in existence before this universe. Therefore, what I'm doing here in this ascending journey is pretty much planting it, cultivating it in the right direction so it may become a lush green tree that's bearing fruits. And the fruits is really the result of my actions, acknowledgement, consciousness, awareness of the source of my existence here. Yeah, this is how I would put it. Is another point just slipped through my mind. SubhanAllah. Okay. I mean, not getting lost in the tree and the fruit analogy, but yeah, I think this is interesting. Okay.
Also, as much of the light of the prophetic message we can get also, basically, right, in our lives. All right, so let me continue if there's no other, nobody else wants to speak. Since, like the tree of Tuba, this is a tree of paradise, the tree of the universe has its roots and trunk above and branches below. It's like an upside down kind of tree. The tree of the universe has its roots and trunk above and branches below. There is a luminous connecting line from the level of the fruit below to that of the original seed. So a luminous connecting line from the level of the fruit below. So I would say the human being at the level of the fruit, so there's a connecting line below to that of the original seed. Thus, the ascension is the sheet and form of that connecting line, the way of which Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, opened up. He went through his sainthood and returned through his messengership. So went through his sainthood and returned through his messengership, and left the door open for everyone else. So the saints of his community following after him traveled that luminous highway with the heart and spirit, basically the heart and spirit in the shadow of the Prophet's ascension, and according to their abilities rise to elevated ranks. So these paragraphs are pretty heavy for me to understand a little bit. So what is, anybody could share their thoughts or understanding about what does this mean? So the Prophet went through his sainthood and returned through his messengership. So when he's ascending, basically, that he was taken on the journey, which was his miraj based on his need. He was looking for meaning in life. So as much of his needs made him kind of a sainthood, where his needs took him towards his journey, and then he came back with the messengership, with the revelation for humankind. Is that the correct way to understand?
From the path of sainthood to prophethood, that's how I understand it, going back to in one of those discussions when we're talking about different routes to get to the reality. So those are stages of human development in terms of getting to the truth. So you go from path of sainthood to the path of prophethood. And in this case, it's messengership. So like you were saying, bringing or sharing the message with humanity. Some thoughts, just to adding on to what you said.
Brother Ali, the mic is yours.
Yeah, mic is open. If it is time, I can talk. I want to share something in my mind. Can I?
Yes, please.
Thank you. What we understood from, as you said, Asim, from sainthood, velaya, veli, evliya. What does it mean? Very simple, as you said, but I just wanted to share a simple example. If you are hungry, you appreciate the food. If you are not hungry, would you look for a food or appreciate the food even if you are given? It is obvious the answer. I wouldn't wait for you to give this genius answer. Only we appreciate the food as much as we feel hungry. Walaya means accepting one's need, accepting one's hunger for satisfaction, and looking for the sort of satisfaction. Who can satisfy me? What can satisfy the needs of my spirit, not my body, my spirit? So I can get it from the universe, I can get it from the Quran, I can get it from the Prophet at the same time. And as far as I'm concerned, I have to feel the need. If the seed doesn't accept the need, the seed, a seed example is excellent, to me excellent. If the seed doesn't feel the need, let's assume that representing human being, a conscious seed, it doesn't get the sunlight from the example of the universe, doesn't get the water from the teachings of the Quran, doesn't get the minerals from the teachings of the prophet's life, then this seed cannot make a transfer into a shoot and then a tree. Cannot make it. What does it do now? The spirit of this person who has this seed, spirit of that person will have to rot without being a tree. So this tree grows into that body which represents hell. Nothing is satisfactory for the spirit. So the more we appreciate the need, the more our spirit feels hungry, needy of guidance to grow into a tree, the more this seed benefits from the message of the Quran, message of the universe, message of the Prophet. So the more we benefit from it, the better tree our life grows. This is our revelation in this story, ascension. This is our ascension in this world, our physical life in this world. What are we doing? How, which kind of tree we are growing out of our spirit, not out of our body, out of our spirit. Which kind of world view we are developing, improving. That is why Miraj. That is what we have to understand, that we have to accept that our spirit is hungry to be satisfied. But who will satisfy it? By saying Allah is not enough. Physically, we have to do it. We have to practice from it. Study the Quran, investigate the universe, study prophetic exemplary life, and benefit from it and apply it in our life. This is our Miraj. Thank you.
Inshallah, thank you. So nobody wants their seed to be rotten. So we want to grow as a flourishing plant and then grow into a tree, inshallah. So we can. So I want to ask, basically, based on our conversation last time, Brother Ali, like, what are the interests for our life, to get the guidance, right? So right now, for example, at NYU, not many people are showing up, basically, as you kind of indicated in the discussions. Not many people are interested in getting guidance or really trying to build, they use their spirit in the way that, for the purpose that, the reason that we are here. Like, we're like losing all the questions that we are supposed to have, like, why are we here in this world? What should be our priority? What should be our purpose in life? Because there are too many things that are taking our attention and we kind of lose track, right? So we definitely need to work on our needs or on our questions. So we shouldn't let our seed rot, as an analogy, but let it grow into a beautiful tree of paradise, inshallah.
As far as others are concerned, we have to look for people who acknowledge their satisfaction of spirit, the satisfaction of their spirit. They have to acknowledge the need. If someone doesn't acknowledge the need of the satisfaction of their spirit, we cannot do anything, only try to remind them, your spirit needs service. Your spirit needs water. Your spirit needs light in order to grow a very good tree. I don't know the word. Well developed tree. I don't know the appropriate word here.
A mature, flourishing, healthy tree.
Very mature tree. But as you said, Asem, mostly people are serving the body of the people, serving food, serving what they need bodily, not spiritually. Nowadays, everybody is concerned. Certain people, everybody knows what I'm talking about. They are suffering from the very, very ruthless transgression of some powerful people, materially like animals, powerful animals. So they are being destroyed. Everybody is running. Good. For what? To help their bodily growth. How about spiritual growth? Where were you? No. When it comes to serving iftar, preparing iftar, paying for iftar, people don't mind. When it comes to understanding the Quran, ask them, saw it, experienced it, how much they do. It means this is the age. How can I deal with within these conditions of this age? And how can I really be helpful for the life tree of these people to grow in a better way, so that they will fulfill their miraj in a better way? I can be an example. I must be an example. That is first condition. The rest, I don't know either. That is why my life becomes meaningless as far as this aspect is concerned. I feel I'm not doing anything. I have to concentrate myself, but at the same time, God must be teaching, telling me something I couldn't understand. I need guidance there. I am hungry there. If someone helps me, I will love it. I will love to listen to them. Thank you.
Thank you, inshallah. So So travel the luminous highway with the heart, inshallah. And spirit in the shadow of the Prophet's ascension, basically. That's for us, human beings, to take example, use our spirit, grow spiritually, inshallah. I mean, we're not even seeing the luminous highway. We just, I don't know what we are doing in life. Inshallah, I hope we can realize our needs, inshallah, then we can make progress further. All right. Next paragraph, unless anybody wants to comment. All right. Also, as was proved above, the universe's maker made the universe and decked the universe out in the form of a palace. For the aims demonstrated in the answer to the first difficulty. So it's summarizing basically the first difficulty being like where he gave the example of the whole universe and the meaning that human beings are looking for, what this whole universe is for, why are we here? Since Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was the means of all those aims being realized, he must have been regarded with favor by the universe's maker before the universe was created. He must have been the first recipient of his manifestation. For the result and fruit of a thing is considered first. The result and fruit of a thing is considered first. That is to say, material existence comes last and meaning comes first. So I think we've been kind of touching upon this point about the spiritual aspect, the human meaningful side, and the body material side, which is secondary, but the meaning comes first. And then the body follows that meaning, basically. However, since Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was both the most perfect fruit and the means of all other fruits acquiring value. So prophetic Muhammad's light becoming the means for all other human beings to gain value from their spiritual aspect as a real human being. And the means of all the aims becoming manifest. The means of all the aims becoming manifest. So the purpose of human being, why is he existing? So all those aims. Why are we given eyes? Why are we given the spirit? Why are we given feelings? Right? Why are we given the senses? For what purpose? We need to think about those things. Right? So we have to relate them for our purposeful existence in a way. The means of all the aims becoming manifest. His light must have received the first manifestation of creativity. So his light basically is the meaning that in the message that he brings receives the first manifestation of creativity before everything else. Right? So before the creation of the universe, which is bodily, and then the meaning behind it, must be created first. Suhail, go ahead.
Oh, assalamu alaikum. Yeah, it's interesting that he says that here, in that materiality or the body comes secondary to the reason for something for being. So, it makes you question, like, as Ali Murmur was saying, people fixated on body or outward material aspect of things, without thinking about there's a reason why the body even is, like, what's the meaning, because that's the driving force. And in some sense, then, like what he's saying, this light of Muhammad, or his, like, messengership, is the reason, is that light, is that meaning, and that messengership is reflected in his ascension, because that is what his messengership is, the ascension, from this sort of, from the roots of this world, I guess, or the universe, this material world, back to its maker. And that is really what the reason for the world's existence even is. It is the ascension, which is reflected in Muhammad's messengership. And that's really where the only value for man is. Like, if you step back and think about it, what other value can there be in this, temporal life? Um, because even with serving the body comes to an eventual end anyway, at some point, whether today, tomorrow, 50, 100 years from now, it's going to end. So what is the point of all of it? And the other thing that I wanted to add was that, in some way that, people think that maybe this is some sort of foreign concept, but I think, like, what he's saying is, the sort of light of Muhammad is also the light that's within or the potential that's within within everybody's spirit or consciousness, this sort of seed. If you, like, this code, so to speak, the seed code that everybody has. And it's within all of us, but we just have to, I guess you got some sort of programming analogy, or boot it up or load it up, or but we really don't really do that, because we're not really concerned with the program in and of itself, like where is it leading us. So we're more fixated on, like, the outward shell, so the hardware, and not the software. But yeah, those are some of my thoughts.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Suhail. Yeah. Anybody else would like to share anything? We have a few minutes left for you.
Yeah, just wanted to share some highlights. I feel the result and fruit of a thing is considered first, and meaning comes first. It was interesting because, I'm sorry, these days my mind is wrapped around the creation of the seed, or the light has been in existence before the creation of this universe. So I feel what we're doing here in this corporeal world is pretty much, how you have those word matching problems. On one side, you have a bunch of words, and on the other side, synonyms and their meaning. I feel that's what we're doing. We're connecting the words to their synonyms and meanings. What I'm trying to get at is the seed has those words. And what I experience here is pretty much maybe the same words or the synonyms of it. And then I try to connect or bridge the gap between the two, if that makes sense. For example, the seed has the potentiality to recognize all qualities of its maker, and me as a human being, I'm the seed, and I have the potentiality, for example, to recognize an absolute source of love, for example, and I also can connect that to this quality of love that I experience, which points to the same absolute source. And so there's me, the universe, and then the light of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, which we said is the revelation that helps me bridge the gap between all these qualities that I experience. Just wanted to share my thoughts here.
Alhamdulillah, thank you. Yeah, so Brother Ali, go ahead, please.
Before we close, we use very frequently the example of a machine. When Suhail was speaking, I remember this. This is a very practical example. If someone wants to make a machine, first of all, he has to know which kind of machine he will make it and for what purpose this machine is going to be used. He must know it at the beginning. That's why Nur Muhammad created at the beginning of the universe means this, representing this. So he makes the machine. Here you are. He created my body and he created the universe. These are the machines. And he put into my body that I can understand, I can have the capacity to be able to use this machine. And the machine itself is created representing the universe to fulfill it is the purpose of existence, to demonstrate or to expose the qualities of its creator, it is maker. So what the maker meant to make by making this machine must be included in it so that it will function in order to fulfill, accomplish the purpose of the machine is made. So, but this person doesn't prepare a handbook for the users how to use this machine and benefit from it. And for the maker of the fruit, of the machine, if the engineer doesn't employ an instructor how to practice this information while they are practically using the machine, then this machine will be useless. That is why 4 elements must be functioning at the same time. The machine must have the quality. The engineer of the machine must know what to do and apply it in making the machine, and must prepare a user's manual, which is the Quran, and must employ an instructor to teach people how to make it, how to practice it, how to utilize it. Then it is profit. And the users must have the ability to really use the machine. If there is no user with the capacity who are able to use the machine, what is the purpose of making the machine of the universe? It makes this example, really, this analogical example, really makes sense to me. Practically speaking, yes, the machine must exist. Yes, I must have the quality to utilize it. And this machine must have a user's handbook and also an instructor. Both of them, 4 of them must work together. And how much I fulfill this equation in my life story, in my lifetime, that is my miraj. That makes sense to me, and I understand miraj, alhamdulillah, with this simple example that I have to utilize and employ it in my life.
Inshallah, thank you, Brother Ali. Yeah. So we have to make use of our whatever our life is given, remaining life, inshallah. Yeah, inshallah. So I think we can stop here for today. And we'll continue, inshallah, next time with your third difficulty. But just to, as a conclusion, I was relating to what we discussed yesterday as well, in terms of why we are given life, and we never know at what point our end of our life can be called upon. So, I mean, we know that this transience of this world, whatever, how much time we are spending in our lives here, we need to be watchful in terms of what really we are spending our time and effort on, inshallah. So I'll stop here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka anta al-alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bi hurmati suratul Fatiha. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow, inshallah.